because people go to their graves with their ideas because they thought that it didn't matter to somebody. So imagine if you could change somebody's life because you chose to speak up. And today I'm super excited to share with you 5 different ways that you are going to start enacting your voice to make it matter. No one here is just an administrative professional. I had an employee, and she thought she was just an administrative professional. Her name was Chris, and the reason I tell you this story is because she was an administrative professional that thought her voice did not matter in the workplace. She thought that she just had her own tasks to do, keep the schedule, do the board agenda, talk to the board members. She thought she was only that. I got promoted into a chief administrative officer position for this credit union I worked for, and she became my executive assistant. I knew her for years, and I knew that she had a voice, and I knew that she had great ideas. And so I started working with Chris to become that person and that voice that mattered in the workplace. And these 5 steps that I'm going to share with you today are what got her to the place that she was at the table when they had board meetings, which before that she was not. She knew her voice mattered, and she started talking to the CEO about the culture in the workplace. And the fact that internal customer service was so bad that people were leaving so quickly and causing the turnover. She got so comfortable with her voice that she was able to make a change in the organization. And these are 5 things I started working with her from the very beginning on. And it is so important to understand that your voice matters. Once you started sitting up straight, now you're standing. Now I want you to turn to your neighbor and I want you to say, your voice matters. All right, everybody can have a seat. Thank you for your participation. Even those people that scared the crap out of you got up and you said it. Did you see how it elevated, though? The more you stood up and you stood tall and you were more confident, by the 4th time you said it to your neighbor, it was louder. And that starts with our voice. Number 1, the number 1 most important thing that you need to do is build confidence in yourself and find value in you. Value starts with yourself. If you are one of those people that's terrified to speak up at a meeting, this is the person I'm talking to right now. Find value in yourself, because you're going to start small. But you're going to start speaking up, and you're going to start giving your ideas, because you don't want to take them to the grave with you, because you don't know whose life, what place in this world you might change. You might be a Chris that leaves an organization where the culture has been changed because of a voice that she had, and she spoke up. Those mentors are going to guide you along the way to help you improve. And those mentors may be near and far. They do not have to be in your office. They could be relatives. They could be people that you watch on YouTube. They could be Joan or Lisa that you watch on YouTube that give you inspiration to go in there and say something, or they give you advice. Mentors are everywhere. And if you don't have a list of at least 10 mentors, I would tell you to take the journals that everybody's been telling you to buy and spend some time writing down and thinking of 10 people that mentor you. CEO that used to love to take my ideas. But you know what? I got to the point where I took it as a compliment, because he obviously believed in my idea, because now he was sharing it. And so I twisted what I saw as, wow, I really would like credit for that, to, you know what? I'm getting my own credit because I know the truth in all of it. I know that that was my idea originally. But if we're in a meeting, I am giving credit to the CEO for an idea that maybe I came up with. I'm giving credit to another employee that may be an administrative assistant, or maybe a loan officer, or maybe a credit analyst. I'm giving them credit for some part that they played in it. And you know what? Sometimes we even have to give credit when we don't like somebody. Sadly enough, Sigrid died 2 years later of cancer. And that is how powerful it is when your voice matters. Building those relationships, whether you like them or not, because she had 2 years. She would have stayed working there, but she had 2 years to spend with her family. That is powerful. And I actually liked her after we went. You have a beautiful smile. They could have the ugliest shirt in the world on, and she would say, that shirt looks really nice on you. And she was genuine. The first 30 seconds of meeting someone, compliment, thank you for the email that you sent me the other day about that project. I really appreciate the fact that you took the time to get it to me on time. How many times do we get stuff late? You know what? That time that you get something on time, call that person within the first 30 seconds. You say, thank you for getting me that on time. 30 seconds, within the first 30 seconds of meeting someone, have a compliment. Say their name. People, the word that people like to hear the most is what? Their name. Say their name. You have self-value, you value others, you built all these relationships, people trust you, they love you, they know. Something to me that was so powerful that I went home that night and changed my life. I changed my trajectory. And had I had not heard that verse that night from someone that knew their voice mattered, I probably wouldn't be here today. So I want to share with you, that's how powerful. Have we all had that moment? Think of that moment in your life when someone said to you something that was so powerful. It could be your wedding vows. It could be something that your grandparents or your ancestors said to you, your parents. Something that really encouraged you. We all have those moments. We've had moments since then, but I can go back to that moment and I can look at how my life pivoted at that time. To a conference one time, it was a women's conference, and I came back and I had changed my voice a little bit. I was being more assertive, and I was told by every man in that organization, Renette, you have gotten really aggressive. And I said, no, actually, I've gotten more assertive. And they said, no, you're aggressive. And I said, you said the same thing in a meeting yesterday, and I was agreeing with you today. How is that aggressive? That's assertive. Because I'm a woman, I'm seen as aggressive when I go for stuff. When I make something happen, when I make something matter, I'm seen as aggressive. And we balance that all the time as women. And so just be aware of that when you're presenting and sharing your information. When you're going down that road, be careful. But also make sure your voice matters. And I say be careful in the fact that don't allow that to stop you from being assertive and speaking up. You have to be assertive. Women have to be more assertive. And if you are passive right now and you're afraid to speak up, then when you start to be assertive, people are going to think you have gone nuts. But really, you need to just say, I'm just being assertive. And it's okay. Assertive is the middle ground between passive and aggressive. Where we want to be is assertive. And men are assertive all the time. Okay, count of 3. I want you to say, my voice matters. 1, 2, 3. We're going to change this up right now because your voice has value. I want you to say, count of 3. My voice has value. Wow, you guys are fast. 1, 2, 3. Now turn to your neighbor and say, your voice matters. Your voice has value. We have. Now, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, but what you are learning over the next couple days does not stay in Vegas. It goes back with you. Yes, it goes back with you. It does not stay in Vegas. You pack that in your luggage, you make it your baggage, and you make a difference in the world because you can make a difference. You guys are all in a seat to make a difference. Do not undervalue yourself. Do not ever say, I am just an administrative professional. You are an administrative professional. Your takeaways. You're going to go back and you're going to value yourself. You're going to claim your value. You're going to value others. That 30-second rule is going to change your life. And if you are struggling, then get a coach to help you. Get a coach that will help you. A coach to be able to get you to that next step, get you to that next level, and serve you well. If you're not getting that next level, then you need to have somebody help you get there, and you will get there.